Okay. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, ladies. This is our very first call group session for the 30-day hormone reset. And again, I'm so happy that I am doing this with you all. I have not been sleeping the best, and I think it's probably from stress from weeks ago, and it's my body is now feeling the effects. So I am glad that I'm actually taking the time to do this program and go through it with you all. And I've been feeling really good today. I feeling energized. I have done my walking and done my meals. I've posted those. So, and I'm thankful that you all are getting off to a great start. Looks like you all have been engaged on the platform. So I'm so excited to see what the next several weeks looks like and what kind of results and how we're going to feel at the end of this 30 days together. So tonight I'm going to go on and just kind of give you some tidbits and kind of go through some things in depth. If we have someone pop on, we'll let them ask questions, or if they have concerns, then we will talk about that after I get through what I want to get through tonight. It's nothing huge or anything like that, but I think it has come up a couple of times. So I want to go into depth. Sometimes what I see on the, I won't say timeline, but the group list or our chat, and sometimes hearing it, some people are audio learners, some people read, and I think I want to make sure I hit all bases. That way people can look at this at their leisure, okay? So Sarah had brought up a very good point today concerning cruciferous vegetables and people with low functional thyroid or hypothyroidism. And she was asking that she knew that some of the vegetables could be harmful to your thyroid. Some of the ones that we were using are really targeting this module for liver detoxification. And she is correct. But the little caveat here is a lot of times it is gonna depend on what situation that you have. If you know you have hypothyroidism, okay, so if you do, make sure you understand the whole gamut of where and how your hypothyroid came into fruition. Was it because it was an adrenal issue? Was it because it was stress? Was it a bacteria? Was it toxins? Or was it your immune system that was up in arms and it was attacking your thyroid? Because a lot of women that go through these thyroid issues, over 80% have Hashimoto's, which is the autoimmune form of thyroid or low functioning thyroid. And a lot of times with that, they have what's called leaky gut. And leaky gut is a situation where your gut lining is open. And I've talked about this in the group because of damage of antibiotics use, hormones, toxins, all the things over the years, it starts to break down the gut lining. And then with issues with Hashimoto's, if you cannot digest certain fibers and certain vegetables, that becomes a problem in eating certain cruciferous vegetables, be it broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, all the ones that we are focusing on this week, okay? But what I will say is make sure that they are cooked. If they're cooked, like your broccoli, I would say not eat that raw, or you would have to do like a whole big, eating broccoli for every meal. Make sure they're cooked. That's tip number one. And make sure if you have these type of diagnoses, make sure you understand what your root cause of your thyroid issue is. Because if it is a autoimmune issue, then you got to look deeper at, do I have issues like leaky gut? Do I need to take care of eating vegetables a certain way? But with anything, just make sure you're rotating your vegetables and you're not eating the same thing over and over. And that's what I kind of was discussing with Sarah. Yes, it is true. Sometimes they can have issues because they cannot digest the fiber is the problem. And once that issue is fixed, then they know they will no longer have that issue, or that issue is kind of like neutralized at the time, and then they can reap the benefits of those type of vegetables. Okay, so I wanted to clear that up, and I did post a link to Dr. Isabella Wentz. She is a PharmD, and she actually has Hashimoto's, and she has done all type of research and written articles about this, and she kind of talks about it more in length and depth. And if doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. You may have someone that you know, or could possibly learn about it, because down the road, you don't know if you'll be able to understand and really utilize this information that I'm talking about tonight. So cook all your vegetables. Now, if you're doing your spinach, if you want to put it in a smoothie, or you want to, cook it, saute it, that's good, especially if you have problems. But make sure you're steaming. Steaming's probably the best way to get your vegetables in during the week. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure we cleared that up. And if you have more questions, go ahead and put them in the conversation, because we've kept a good flow, and hopefully we keep up the momentum as time goes by. Okay, the next thing I wanted to say is, throughout this time that we're together, this is a time for you to really stretch your mind stretch your mindset and your mind on just things around food. Because I think a lot of times, and I know I used to be like this before on my journey to health, because my health was declining back in 2019. I had no idea what was going on until I got answers. But a lot of things that, I was told, my provider was like, okay, this is the things that we need to eliminate. I'm not saying this is going to be for the rest of your life, but due to so much of inflammation, due to the hormonal imbalances, due to the weight gain and all the things that I was struggling with, she, suggested I have to cut out some of my favorite food groups. And one of those was dairy. And I literally looked at her like she had three heads when she told me to cut out dairy. And dairy is one of those things that is highly addicting. It does have casein, which is similar to morphine, and that's why it has that addictive state. But one of the downfalls of the dairy today, with the dairy cows that they pump them full of different antibiotics and hormones. And then when we are, partaking in that secondhand, we then get more of those hormones from that animal source, and it can be detrimental to us, especially if we have sluggish liver and we're not detoxing the estrogens out, or the hormones out of our system. So that was something I really had to think about. I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? I might have to have some alternatives. But luckily today, now I don't know about back then, they probably didn't have a whole lot of alternatives. And I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? And luckily there was like tons of other, nut milks and different cheese alternatives. Now, although I would say with this program, and what I did too, I didn't really focus on so much of the processed cheeses. I tried to really go all in and do a lot of it, my whole nutrient foods. I mean, I really missed it. And I think after a while of me cleansing my body and getting basically, I guess, the craving for dairy out of my system, after a while, I didn't crave it at all. So I had to really shift my mindset after, but because I knew, I was like, this is going to be beneficial for me in the long run. So when you're going through things, especially with this program, just think, I'm sorry, hopefully this light is not distracting. Just think, I understand this could be tough. We get to choose our tough. It's tough to make these changes that is going to be beneficial to us, or we can choose the hard of continuing down this path of the things that we don't want and the things that we, are a struggle for us daily. And one of the reasons why you signed up for this program, so we get to choose. And I know when you get comfortable at doing the same thing over and over and over again and eating the same things over and over, you stick to the same thing, you don't go outside your comfort level. I would just say for this program, I want you to try 3 different foods that you have never tried before. Try it on this 30-day. That's what I'm going to challenge you to. And I'm going to do it too. I'm going to try, like, pretty much I have tried a lot of things. There is a few vegetables that are you have to go to Whole Foods to get, maybe like rutabaga and different things like that. I'm going to try their root vegetables. I'm going to try those. Excuse me, haven't tried those before. I'm going to try to step out of my comfort zone, because one of the things that I know about food intolerances, and I know firsthand with my son, the things that he ate the most and he liked the most, those were high on his food intolerance test. Okay. And the broader your palate, the broader your vegetables, it's going to help your gut health, because you're going to get a variety of different nutrients and minerals that way. If you continue to stick with the same vegetables and the same thing, day after day, month after month, then that's how we continue on that cascade of food cravings. Okay. And the symptoms that we are having. Because a lot of times if you limit yourself, you're limiting some of the nutrients and vitamins that you could be getting on a daily basis. Okay. So just keep that in mind while we go through this 30-day, is to try a plethora of stuff. So in rotation, this week, I know for meal prep purposes, you don't need to be doing like 50,000 things. Take the same type of vegetables, do it, then rotate and have a different set the next time. Okay. So that's what I would say, the way that you can really amp up getting your minerals, your vitamins, because I really like for us to get all of that in our food source. Although sometimes our food source today with the soil and everything is not the best, but getting that from food is the best way. Now, like I said before in the group, you can supplement if you are still having issues. And a lot of times, especially women, zinc and vitamin D and mag are, sometimes low because of the food source. B12, those are the main ones. A lot of times we have to supplement, but vitamin C, a lot of your other like complex like B6, a lot of these different ones you can get in your food source if you broaden your horizon on the things that you eat. So 3 different foods, this whole time. You can do that. That's 30 days, 3 different foods. And I'm going to be asking in the platform which food, whether it be a vegetable or whatever, fruit that you want to try during this challenge. Okay. Where am I at? Okay. So the next thing I want to jump to is when you are going to do your meal prep, and it's probably going to be easier for you to think about this while you're prepping your meals. Always ask yourself, when you're making a meal, do you have protein? Do you have a healthy fat? Do you have a complex carb in that meal? And the complex carbs can be the cruciferous vegetables as well. They're considered carbs. Like I said, not all carbs. A lot of people think carbs are bread, which they are, but the complex carbs is the one with the fiber and the things that you can benefit from. The simple carbs are the ones like the breads and the gluten, pasta, sugars, and that sort of thing that give you no nutritional value whatsoever. You're in a deficit, you're not getting any of the back, and you're taking in empty calories. So I want you to do that. That way, when you meal prep, you are able to know, I already got my stuff in, because what's going to happen with these meals, you're going to be really fulfilled for several hours. One, because you have protein. When we have protein in the mix, you're going to have less spikes of your your glucose and your insulin, and you're going to have less, you're not going to be down and have bottoming out. You're going to have that good neutral balance of your blood sugar and insulin. And when you throw in that healthy fat, that's going to keep you full and not want to snack and crave just mindlessly all the time. So I posted my lunch today. It had the avocado, so I had my healthy fat. I had the lettuce, and then I had my turkey, my protein, and then I had my carbs. I literally ate that and I was so satisfied because it encompassed everything that I needed. I had my carbs to give me that quick energy, and it was complex. It's got the fiber in it. And then of course I had the healthy fats to decrease the inflammation, and you get to where you are satisfied. So you guys, healthy fat, I cannot stress that enough with women going through our hormones. You have to have healthy fat. It's good for brain health. It's good for our hormones. It's just good for us we have to have that to live. So I want you to make sure you are getting all of those nutrients in every meal that you get, even if you just snacking on nuts. That's a good healthy fat. Okay. It's a protein. So that's what I want you to make sure that you're being mindful of once we go through this program, going through making sure all your meals have something, especially if protein and a fat. That way you don't get in that hangry stage. And plus, when I'm drinking all this water, when I'm drinking a lot of water, I don't feel as hungry all the time because I'm so full of the water. So I don't have enough time to really, my mind's not really on snacking or craving anything. So that's good. So I felt really good today. Okay. So if you go by the recipes, now I specifically, when I did this program and I made this program, I specifically wanted healthy fats, proteins, and the healthy carbs or cruciferous vegetables in the mix. That way you didn't have to think about anything. Go and just start looking through those. Get you some little, because I know it's so hard to look through things. But I don't like that. Try it. We're gonna try it. And you don't know, you may love this. So I used to not like avocados. I didn't like avocados until probably, I would say I'm 40, I'll be 43. Gosh, I might have been right probably when I got really sick. I started to put them in my smoothies first because they make the best smoothies. They're thick, they're creamy, and I was full and I got my protein with my protein powder. I was good. And then I started trying guac. That was good because I love, Mexican food. So got that. Now I'm just putting it on everything. Absolutely love it. But I think we've got to make sure, if you don't like the avocados, make sure you're getting salmon. They've got like smoked salmon, put them on some gluten-free crackers or something like that, something that you're getting some type of healthy fat. I cannot stress that enough when we are talking about weight maintenance and stress levels, decreasing inflammation. We've got to make sure that we are getting our good, healthy fats in, okay? And make sure you are going through the recipes. If there's something you just like, I just absolutely can't find anything, let me know. Let me know. We can find something for you, okay? And start making copies of things that you like and keep note of that, but make sure you're rotating, not eating the same thing over and over again throughout this whole program. The point is to broaden our horizons and try different things, okay? And one thing I want to say is during this program, I don't want you to beat yourself up, feel like you're behind, or feel like you are not on track with anything, because that is the wrong attitude to have. We are all doing this together. There may be some people that know a little bit more about this than others. That is fine. I mean, everybody, we're all doing this together, and the end point is the end point. I want you to make sure that you are utilizing these resources, utilizing what other people are posting, looking at what they're doing, not because you're going to compare, but because you're going to learn, you'll be able to use that as a learning experience. Because a lot of times when people post about different things, they're like, I might want to try that. Just Doretha had put the turkey sausage with the blueberries in it. That's going to be, instead of doing smoothies this week, next week, that I'll do that. So I'll rotate it. We've got to make sure that we are looking at this to come together and not be beating up on yourself because you're not feeling like you're behind or anything like that. I know, like, I can tell a lot of y'all been posting your journals and that sort of thing. Keep up, as long as you're keeping up with your things and looking at the group, checking in. That is good, because the check-in and the accountability piece, you guys, is going to be huge during this whole thing, because once the excitement and all that and things really start taking off, you will, hopefully we don't retract back. But I will say this: once you start getting results, you will want to continue and you're going to be wanting to engage. So I just, the engagement has been really good. Keep that up, because that is the accountability piece. And y'all need to keep me accountable as well. I'm trying to post in there daily, either a meal or a quote or whatever I feel like. It doesn't necessarily have to be a meal. If you want it to be a meal, or if you can take pictures of a selfie of yourself and say, this is a bad day. We are here to do this together, and we are here to help guide you through this. Okay. So this is not a race. This is not no type of challenge. This is a tool that you're going to use for the rest of your life. These are foundational pieces, because as we age as women, we go into perimenopause is when the estrogen levels start to drop. Okay, there's a lot of times problems, that we have due to that. And we really have to amp up our lifestyle. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. Okay, especially with perimenopause. That is like the weird phase where your body's kind of like 1 month it'll be like this heavy bleed, and the next you're skipping. Your hormones are, your ovaries are pretty much saying I'm done. So you may not ovulate 1 month you skip. That's the waning phase. But what we have to do is do the things that we need to do to support our adrenal glands, because guess what? They take over. Once the ovaries are done, say bye-bye. I'm not making any more follicles. I'm not making any more eggs. You still will produce estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone via adrenal glands. And what's connected to adrenal glands is stress, inflammation. Okay, so these things are key foundational pieces that you can take anywhere at any stage. Okay. What else? Right now, before we get too far into the program, I want you, because I'm going to do it tonight, I'm going to take side pictures of myself, or either measure myself. We're not going to be doing a scale because the scale is relative, especially at certain times of the month. You got more progesterone, and that makes you, swell up. So we're not, I've never been like saying let's weigh ourselves or anything like that. That can be a trigger for a lot of people. But I think a lot of times seeing yourself like before you start something and after is very gratifying. And I am going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to measure myself or just take a picture with the same outfit on, so I can just see the results that I have towards the end. I have my brother's wedding is at the end of May. So hopefully by then I should be good to go. There's so much more that we're going to do to help with our results here in the program. But that's what I'm going to do. That could be a tip if you want to do it. That's good. And no, we're not. I'd never asking anybody to post. That can be something that you journal or something that you can just know for yourself. But I just know that I'm going to do it. And not only that, you could do a journal of how you feel, because that's the key thing for me, is not so much of what it's okay what I look like, but the kicker is, how do you feel? Because once you start feeling better, then your body's going to catch up. And I know a lot of times with us, with women, we want quick, but our bodies have to adjust from being in such a high inflammation state for a while. And then your body starts to shift and make changes. It has to catch, like the outside has to catch up. So I want you to either do both, make a journal of some of the things that how you're feeling, what's your mood like. We'll talk about our, sleep and all of that. And if you want to look and see how you, are looking, are you not as bloated? What do you look like on the outside, and how do you feel? Bring those together, okay? And like I said, we are not going to focus on any type of weight, because weight is so relative. I don't even do that with my one-on-one clients. My track is, are they pooping? Are they sleeping? How's their mood? Okay, so those things I ask all the time. And those are going to be the key things. Are they still having cravings? That sort of thing, for me to make adjustments. Let's talk about this. Let's go deeper into things. Okay. So it doesn't look like anybody is on the call tonight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take this off and upload it because it takes a little bit, and then I'll upload it into module 1. I'll just say the first group call. Well, it's kind of like a little mini lesson where I go into things deeper. And then if there's anything that we need to talk about next week, if you can make it, we can start, I can start a list of things that we can target on that you can get help with, okay? All right, ladies, thank you so very much for being here with me. And if you have any questions or comments about the replay, just let me know. And I will see you in the group.